This is Inside Heavy. Big news on the Metalocalypse front. Brendon Small has just announced that Gibson guitars are in production as we speak on a special Death Clock Gibson Explorer called the Thunderhorse. Brendon is so excited about this new guitar, and he joins us here on Inside Heavy to tell us all about it. So stay put. Brendon joins us when we return.
Metal Freak. T-shirts, hats, DVDs, posters, CDs, and downloads. It's an all-in heavy metal superstore. Metal Freak.
We are back with Brendon Small from Metalocalypse, right here on Inside Heavy, the world's inside source to heavy metal. We got Brendon Small, Metalocalypse, Deathlock on the line. Exciting news. You got a 6-string in your name. Tell us about it.
Pretty cool. I got to help design a signature guitar for the TV show for Metalocalypse.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a Silver Burst Explorer. We're calling it the Thunderhorse. And it's a beautiful guitar with cream binding, burst bucker pickups, and it plays and sounds fantastic.
Awesome. I have a spy, a kind of a mole at the Gibson plant that is actually on the line building them. And I called him just a little bit ago and asked him about it. And they wasn't aware what the model was, but there was a new Silver Burst in production. And they said that the body is a little smaller than the regular Explorer. Is that right?
Well, this one, I A/B it with my other Explorers. I think it feels a little bit smaller, but it isn't.
Mm-hmm.
It's got a binding that I think gives it that appearance.
Okay.
But it's not meant to. No, it's a big guitar. It's a very big guitar.
Mm-hmm.
We went back and forth just on different styles, different little, just tiny little things that would just make it, the guitar I wanted it to be. And one of it was just to maintain the what I love about the original Explorer. I based it off of in the early '80s there was a model called the Gibson E2 Explorer, which was kind of just like a Les Paul Supreme almost for Explorers. I don't know if I'm going over anyone's head, but a guitar with really nice binding, with a really nice paint job, and but just as cool looking as an Explorer,
right?
Deluxe Explorer.
Mm-hmm. What did you, if you had input on the guitar, I guess, what was it that you was a stickler on? Hot pickups, any particular pickups that you wanted on it?
I'm realizing, I use different pickups for a lot of different things, but if I'm going to play one guitar one entire show, what I like to do is, I'm, at this point known for playing pretty loud metal music, but I like my pickups to be somewhere in the middle. I don't like them to be too hot or too quiet, so I like this medium output pickup, and the burst bucker is exactly what it is. And I think if your amp is doing its job and giving you all the gain that you need, I want to be able to hear my guitar. I want to be able to hear the sound that the actual strings are making without it being too compressed
mm-hmm.
and turning into a laser beam.
Right.
I want to be able to hear the smokier sound of the pickups of the neck and the attack of the bridge. So I I love that pickup. So I said it's got to be that one.
Mm-hmm.
And for the most part, it was kind of the great thing about Gibson is, I think, as a Gibson fan, people don't want stuff too different. They want the classic guitars,
right,
with a couple bells and whistles.
Is there any kind of artwork on the guitar to signify Metalocalypse or Deathlock?
No, in fact, I've looked at those guitars, like signature series guitars before, and I'm not a fan of those.
Mm-hmm.
Personally, I like it. I wanted to have the smallest possible thing that would make a reference to the show, so that if people didn't even care about the show or knew what it was, they'd still want this guitar.
Mm-hmm.
So what I have is the guitar is called the Thunderhorse,
right?
Based off of a Death Clock song,
right?
Off of the second episode of the entire series, and it's on the first Death album. It's a song, and it's a mostly instrumental guitar song.
Right.
Right over the truss rod cover, I said, let's get the Les Paul font and write Thunderhorse on that, and that'll be it.
Cool.
It'll be like just a nod to the hardcore fans.
Well, like you said, signature series guitars, I don't know, people tend to not want necessarily to invest their money unless they're a rich person that's a collector. But if you're going to spend $4,000 of your hard-earned money, you don't want Ace Frehley's face on the headstock necessarily.
Yeah, exactly. I started thinking of like airbrushed guitars of like, oh, you may as well put Looney Tunes characters on it at some point, because you end up looking like a tourist.
Right. And plus, anyone who buys a $4,000 Les Paul thinks that they should have their own signature guitar, probably.
Exactly. Yeah, absolutely. Well, first of all, this guitar isn't that expensive. In fact, I think what I heard was $1,600 if you get it now.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, the cool thing about these signature series and these limited runs is that and this is me talking as a musician from way back. Gibsons are a great investment. They're American made and they're limited edition, so they hold their value in advance over the years too. So if you're a person looking to invest, Gibson's always a great place.
Absolutely. And the Explorer has always been you get a lot of bang for your buck for a Gibson. SG as well.
Absolutely, yeah. The thing is, American-made Gibsons are such great guitars, and right out of the box, they play great, and they sound great. And again, what I love about guitar is that I don't just like one style. I love playing, like Yngwie shred stuff. I like playing, Jeff Beck licks. I like playing Brian May stuff. And the cool thing about the Explorer is it's just got that great mid-range that sonically, where you can play classic rock to death metal on it and sound totally in the pocket.
Right. So do you have a finished version of the Thunderhorse?
I do.
How does it play?
It plays fantastic. In fact, in order to really I wanted to make sure, because I'm a guitar lover, I wanted to make sure and be able to say that I completely approve of this guitar, 100%. So I've been recording with it on a brand new solo record, and I've got some songs where it's just really putting my guitar through the ringer sonically, and it's just that fundamental tone that really pops out that makes it just that perfect, great, wonderful, like harmonic rich sound that I love out of a guitar.
Mm-hmm. And as I understand it, is it available for purchase in February?
That's right.
Okay. Outstanding. Well, we know for a fact they're busy on the floor of the Gibson warehouse or Gibson factories putting them together. We know that much. You say you're actually in the process of recording now?
I'm recording now. I'm actually in mixing. So I have the Brendon Small solo album. I'm going to have more information that'll come out. I believe the release is going to be late spring at this point.
Outstanding.
And you're going to hear the Thunderhorse all over it, which is great.
More metal, obviously, more metal.
It's actually, this is more of a rock and roll album with the same drummer from Death Clock, Gene Hoglan, and the same bass player from Death Clock Live, Brian Beller. So this is actually more of a rock album. This is taking a bit of a departure, but if you like the style, if you like the grandiosity and the kind of epicness from Death Clock, it's all there, but it's more with more melodic vocals.
Mm-hmm.
And when you put more melodic vocals over, cool chord changes and stuff, you end up getting rock and roll and not death metal instead of, when you take away the guttural vocal, the whole thing changes.
Right.
In a cool way.
Metalocalypse, what season are you in?
Well, season 3 is available on Blu-ray right now. We'll have a lot of cool news to announce about the future of, new things in Death Clock very shortly as we finish all these contract negotiations.
Absolutely.
But, things are looking good.
Any more touring for Death Clock?
Well, we may have some pretty cool news to announce soon, but in the meantime, I'll have to keep my hat on it, unfortunately.
Sure.
Right now, all I can talk about is the Thunderhorse.
Absolutely. Well, it sounds like a lot of stuff's coming from Brendon Small. Or, there I go again, Brendon Small.
I love that you correct yourself. It's so great. I'm at the next stage of my career when people are correcting from Brandon to Brendon. It's good.
Absolutely. Brendon Small, Death Clock, Metalocalypse, now the Thunderhorse guitar. You got your own guitar. How cool is that to have your own guitar?
How cool is it? I think it may be the coolest thing. In fact, I don't know what I could do to top this. Like what would you do after this?
Well, I don't know.
Okay. Quick show business.
A live album.
A live album.
Well, let's face it. You get your own guitar. You're in the same room with Angus Young and Slash. I mean, I think a double-breasted live album.
Maybe that's the way to do it. And I'll just use, I know, I'll just do a talk box the whole time, like Peter Frampton.
Yeah, there you go. Onward and upward.
Way to do it.
Hey, I know you got a busy schedule, and I'm going to let you go, but I appreciate you taking time out for Inside Heavy and talking about the new Thunderhorse guitar. We'll be watching for it and saving our pennies. We're going to get one of those things and see how it sounds.
Yeah, I recommend it. It plays like a dream. It sounds amazing, and it's really easy on the eye.
Congratulations, my friend, on your guitar, and continued success to you, and thanks again for coming on and giving us a little inside track to the guitar.
Absolutely. Thanks for taking the time.
Well, there you have it. If you're looking for a new guitar and you want a Gibson, get the Thunderhorse Explorer. They're probably only going to make so many of these as they do with Signature Series guitars, and this one is going to kick ass. You heard Brandon's description of it. It's top-notch. And watch Brendon's small solo album coming up this year, and more from Metalocalypse and Deathclock. My thanks to Brendon Small for coming on Inside Heavy and spending time with us. And to everybody out there listening, until next time, God bless. Take care.